thank you. Like, just thank you, Lisa Leslie. Thank you, Lisa Leslie. I cannot stress this enough. Thank you. There is somebody with sense. There is actually somebody with some sense.
What Lisa Leslie said about Caitlin Clark may be one of the most refreshing comments we've heard in a long time. After spending an entire year watching former and current WNBA players, along with parts of the media, criticize the Caitlin Clark phenomenon, Lisa offered a perspective that completely challenged the critics and exposed how weak many of their arguments really are. When it comes to WNBA legends, there are very few voices more respected than Lisa Leslie. She's one of the biggest names the women's game has ever produced, a true pioneer, and the first player to dunk in the WNBA. If you were creating a Mount Rushmore for women's basketball, Lisa would absolutely be on it. As the criticism aimed at Caitlin continues, Leslie's common-sense comments remind everyone to look at the bigger picture and hopefully encourage the critics to rethink their opinions. But if recent history has taught us anything, it's that the more Caitlin achieves and the more she helps the league, the louder the complaints become. Let's break down exactly what Lisa said, because it's the perfect response to anyone questioning Caitlin's impact. But first, hit the like button, because every like is one more tissue for the critics, and they're definitely going to need them. So why did Lisa decide to speak up now? It's because Caitlin is still making history without even stepping onto the court, and once again, people are acting like she hasn't earned it.
It is no secret that the Indiana Fever are by far the most popular team in the WNBA, and I'm so glad that we are finally just, I don't know if admitting it is the right word, but they're finally acting on it. And you guys, I'm happy that they're acting on it, because this news is not only just good for the Indiana Fever and Indiana Fever fans, it is good for the entire WNBA.
Everyone in sports already knows the truth. Caitlin Clark is the most popular player the WNBA has ever seen, and quite possibly the most recognized female athlete in America today. The excitement and financial impact she has created are impossible to ignore. Want proof? During her rookie season, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever rewrote the record books. Indiana welcomed more than 300,000 fans during the 2024 season, setting a new WNBA single-season attendance record while increasing home attendance by 39% compared to the previous year. Across the league, attendance climbed everywhere as the WNBA recorded 154 sellout games, more than 3 times the 45 sellouts in 2023. Television ratings also exploded, making 2024 the most-watched season ever, with the 7 highest-rated WNBA games in ESPN history all coming that year, many featuring the Fever. More than 54 million viewers watched WNBA games during the season, another all-time record. Her popularity didn't slow down after the season either. When Indiana announced a preseason game in Iowa, where Caitlin starred in college, all 15,000 tickets disappeared in less than an hour. That's the Caitlin Clark effect. This should be something every WNBA player celebrates, because it creates more attention and more opportunities for everyone. For years, the league struggled financially and relied heavily on NBA support, but thanks to Caitlin, there's finally a real chance for higher salaries and a stronger future. Instead of celebrating, though, many people have responded with jealousy. Some players try to hide it, but it still comes through, while others openly downplay Caitlin's influence and try to credit themselves for the league's recent growth.
The reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize.
Then there are those who even connect Caitlin's popularity to race, suggesting the only reason she's receiving so much attention is because she's white. That attitude has spread beyond players to parts of the media and even some fans. Honestly, it's understandable that other players may get frustrated when every interview eventually turns into questions about Caitlin. That can't be easy. But attacking Caitlin or acting bitter isn't the answer. The better approach is to use the attention she's bringing to introduce yourself to all the new fans discovering the league. Tearing her down only hurts the WNBA's image at a time when it has finally found the type of superstar capable of attracting casual viewers and helping women's basketball become a true mainstream sports product that people don't want to miss.
Clark, step back, hits a 3. Caitlin Clark looking to push the pace. Clark showing off the moves. Clark, all to the rim, just couldn't finish. Clark with the hesitation. Clark gets inside and lays it.
Remember, nearly 19 million people watched Caitlin Clark play in the NCAA championship game. No women's basketball player had ever entered the WNBA with that level of attention. At Iowa, she carried her team with unforgettable performances, scoring 40-point games during March Madness and leading the Hawkeyes to back-to-back national championship appearances. Simply put, no player had ever arrived in the WNBA with a profile this big. Even legends like Candace Parker and Diana Taurasi didn't enter the league with this amount of excitement surrounding them. And that's exactly the kind of impact Caitlin brought to the WNBA from the moment she arrived.
Clark with the board.
Diana Taurasi has 48 triples coming into the game.
Logo!
She almost transformed the league by herself. She helped set attendance records, merchandise sales records, and countless other milestones. The numbers are there for everyone to see. They aren't opinions, they're facts. You'd have to completely ignore everything happening around the league to pretend you don't understand what's going on. The evidence is clear, and Caitlin Clark's influence has been impossible to miss from the moment she entered the WNBA.
Today, 20 points, 8.4 assists, 6 rebounds.
That's crazy.
But 5
crazy.
Is that 5.6
those are hell of a number.
Those are hell of a number.
But to me, that's not dominating.
Yeah, it's only not dominating because she's a...
Caitlin Clark didn't just create excitement. She backed it up with outstanding performances. She broke the WNBA record for assists in a season and set the record for the most points by a guard in a rookie year. She also recorded a league record 19 assists in a single game while averaging nearly 20 points throughout the season. On top of that, she helped lead the Indiana Fever to their first playoff appearance since 2016. That quickly answered everyone who questioned whether her game would translate to the professional level. It clearly did. Whether it was deep three-pointers, incredible no-look passes, or the confidence she played with every night, Caitlin proved she wasn't just the league's biggest attraction. She was also one of its best players.
Such star power on those teams, it's really no surprise they're atop the list for the most games available for you to check out on a national scale. The Fever, they lead the league with 41 games here, followed by the Aces 33, the champion Liberty at 32.
Even with all of that, some people around the WNBA still seem unwilling to accept it. For some, Caitlin's success has clearly been difficult to embrace because they never experienced that same level of national attention despite their own talent. The latest example came when the WNBA released its national television schedule after 6 different teams moved their home games against the Fever into NBA arenas to handle the larger crowds. Some organizations still refused to admit the obvious reason. The Atlanta Dream's owner even pointed to a scheduling conflict at their usual arena, a problem that somehow disappeared once the game was moved into a 16,000-seat NBA building. Soon after, the WNBA officially revealed its national broadcast schedule for the upcoming season.
Surprise, surprise!
Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever were awarded 41 nationally televised games, the highest total in WNBA history. That's 8 more than Aya Wilson's Aces and 9 more than Breanna Stewart and the defending champion New York Liberty. Honestly, that shouldn't surprise anyone. Last season, every game featuring Caitlin Clark attracted far more viewers than almost every other matchup, sometimes pulling in 3 times the audience. One of her playoff games reached 2.5 million viewers, even outperforming recent WNBA Finals broadcasts. None of this is hidden information. Everyone already knows these numbers, and now the league along with its broadcast partners has confirmed it through their scheduling decisions. This season gives Caitlin the biggest spotlight, but it also shines a light on the entire WNBA. Indiana has built an impressive roster after an outstanding free agency. They signed 6-time All-Star and 2-time champion DeWanna Bonner, 3-time champion and former Defensive Player of the Year Natasha Howard, defensive standout Brianna Turner, and veteran leader Sydney Colson. They also traded for sharpshooter Sophie Cunningham, known for her toughness and confidence. The Fever have quickly gone from rebuilding to looking like legitimate contenders. They now feature 5 All-Stars, including Clark, Bonner, Howard, Kelsey Mitchell, and 2023 Rookie of the Year Aaliyah Boston, along with several championship-winning veterans and a deep bench. The level of basketball should improve, and fans have every reason to be excited. Even so, once the TV schedule was announced, criticism immediately came from some of the same players who will benefit from the increased attention, including star Nafisa Collier, fresh off a finals appearance and an MVP award in her unrivaled league. When asked on ESPN's First Take about Caitlin receiving 41 national TV games, she responded with this.
I think it's 2 things. I mean, obviously people want to watch Caitlin play, and so you have to put the people on TV that people want to see. But at the same time, like, there's stars all over the league, and you want good basketball as well. Obviously, Indiana, especially like with their free agents, they're gonna be a great team. But to not have the defending champs on TV more, I think it's kind of crazy.
Before getting back to Lisa Leslie, let me say one thing because this needs to be addressed. Nafisa Collier, of all people, should understand how important superstar players are to growing a league. She's on the WNBA executive committee fighting for better salaries, so she knows bigger stars create bigger opportunities. She even offered Caitlin Clark $1 million to play in Unrivaled. Why make that offer? Because she understood Caitlin's value to the league. But Caitlin declined, and what happened next? Unrivaled had decent ratings early on, but the excitement quickly faded, with many games struggling to reach even 100,000 viewers. It wasn't a disaster, but it was nowhere close to the attention Caitlin generates. Collier keeps saying the league has plenty of talented stars who deserve more attention, and many of those players competed in Unrivaled. Yet even with that talent, the league couldn't create the same level of interest without Caitlin. The exact same pattern happened in the WNBA. Those stars were already playing in 2021, 2022, and 2023, and ratings increased only gradually. Then Caitlin Clark arrived in 2024, and viewership exploded.
Good for the entire WNBA. So I have the broadcast schedule here. We have ABC, NBA TV, Prime Video, CBS, ESPN, 1, 2.
The biggest issue players continue talking about is fair pay. Right now, many WNBA salaries remain surprisingly low, with some players earning less than workers in regular management jobs, which feels unbelievable for professional athletes. But until recently, the league simply wasn't making enough money to support much higher salaries. The WNBA has operated at a loss for years, although that could soon change. Players are preparing for negotiations on a new collective bargaining agreement and have already suggested a strike is possible if they don't receive what they want. Instead of complaining, this should be the perfect opportunity to embrace the attention the league is finally receiving. Go out, perform at the highest level, showcase your talent, attract new fans, and give them reasons to keep watching. That's how salaries continue to rise, by growing the league and increasing its revenue. Yet some people seem to want bigger paychecks before creating bigger business, while also asking for more national TV games without attracting the same audience Caitlin does. That pattern keeps repeating. Anyway, enough of my rant. Let's get back to Lisa Leslie. During an interview with USA Today, she was asked about Caitlin Clark receiving so many nationally televised games, and her answer was absolutely perfect. It's the kind of response everyone should remember whenever someone questions Caitlin's impact.
I think it's all about money, marketing, and we cannot deny what Caitlin Clark has done for the women's game. I'm not going to act like it's something that we don't see. She's had a huge effect called the Caitlin Clark effect. Yes, have we ever had teams have to get into larger arenas to play against a team? No, we have not. So if we have more eyeballs on the game and Caitlin Clark brings that, why would we feel some kind of way because she has more television games?
Obviously, like that is so true. Every word of that statement is a fact.
Honestly, Lisa Leslie's response deserves to be framed because she was exactly right. Why would anyone complain about more people watching your sport? That simply doesn't make sense. But Lisa didn't stop there. She went on to explain how the Caitlin Clark effect benefits every player across the league. It's something that should be obvious to anyone paying attention, yet many people still refuse to admit it. Instead, some continue ignoring the reality while Caitlin keeps bringing more attention, more fans, and more opportunities that ultimately help everyone in the WNBA.
I think we have to understand that when one player eats, we all eat.
Exactly. When the sport grows, everyone benefits. What's happening because of Caitlin Clark has the potential to reshape women's basketball and improve the future for every player in the league. We've seen this story before in professional sports. When a generational superstar arrives, the entire league grows with them. Think back to the NBA in the 1980s. Magic Johnson and Larry Bird helped revive the league, and Michael Jordan later turned it into a global brand. Did people complain that Magic or Jordan received too much attention? Maybe some did, but history proved they were wrong because those stars attracted new fans and created more revenue for everyone. The WNBA is experiencing a similar moment with Caitlin. She's helping generate millions for the league while earning only about $76,000 in salary herself. Do you really think the WNBA's new $2.2 billion media rights agreement happened by accident? Of course not. It came after the huge audience and excitement Caitlin helped create. Even Minnesota Lynx head coach Cheryl Reeve acknowledged that Caitlin's arrival played a major role in the league reaching this point. The opportunity now available to every player exists largely because of the attention Caitlin brought. Yet instead of appreciating that, some people continue criticizing the very player who helped make it happen. Lisa Leslie also pointed out what may be the biggest reason Caitlin's supporters get frustrated, and that's the lack of appreciation shown by some players.
I love that. She's not the player who's like, it's all about her. It's not. She's giving love and homage to those of us that have come before her. She shares the wealth with her teammates, and she doesn't have to do that. So I just don't, again, I don't know what the big deal is about the fact that Caitlin is getting a lot of love. She deserves that, and she's helped change this game just as a lot of other players have.
Those comments carry extra weight because they're coming from one of the legends who helped build this league into what it is today. That's what true stars are supposed to do. They leave the game in a better place than they found it. Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoops, Sue Bird, and Diana Taurasi all helped lay the foundation that made Caitlin's success possible. They opened the door for the next generation, and this is exactly what they hoped would happen, a new star taking the league to another level. That's something to celebrate. Caitlin has never tried to take all the credit for herself. She understands the attention surrounding her, but she has always praised both current players and the legends who came before her. She doesn't have to do that, but she chooses to because it's the right thing to do. A perfect example came when the NBA invited her to compete in the All-Star Weekend three-point contest. It would have been a huge stage, but she declined because she wanted her first professional three-point contest to take place during the WNBA All-Star Weekend in Indianapolis. She chose to support her own league instead of making herself the center of another event. That's a decision worthy of respect. Even as her popularity continues to grow, Caitlin keeps putting basketball first. Unfortunately, not everyone around the league seems willing to show her the same respect despite everything she's doing to help the WNBA.
Literally, they just can't. They just can't not even wrap their head around. They can't just accept, okay, this person is more popular than me, or this person is more popular than the player that we want to push. But even still, that's okay.
As I've said before, I don't think the criticism is going away anytime soon. Thankfully, respected voices continue speaking up for Caitlin Clark. Lisa Leslie has strongly defended her, and another legend, Cheryl Miller, has also publicly supported her. Even NBA stars like LeBron James and Charles Barkley have noticed what's happening and criticized the unnecessary negativity. Caitlin's new teammate, Sophie Cunningham, has been one of her strongest supporters from the beginning. Even before joining the Indiana Fever, Sophie openly called Caitlin the face of the WNBA and described her as a once-in-a-generation talent.
I mean, she has changed our game in the best possible way in every...
16. Sydney Colson, another respected veteran and longtime member of the WNBA, has also spoken publicly, recognizing Caitlin Clark's impact and acknowledging everything she has brought to the league.
It was nuts. There's no other way to say it. It was nuts. I think, you're seeing a team that's now affecting the economy in the city. You got people coming from out of town, out of state, out of the country, maybe even to see games. And so that's special.
So yes, there are still plenty of respected voices speaking with common sense, but it's obvious there's still a long way to go. Honestly, Caitlin could break every major record, win a championship, and help increase every player's paycheck, and there would still be people trying to discredit her or take away from what she's accomplished. As I've said before, until another young star like USC's Juju Watkins, UConn's Paige Buchers, or someone else enters the league and builds a similar level of popularity, the spotlight will remain on Caitlin. No matter how much she contributes to the league, she'll continue to be the center of every conversation. That's simply what comes with being at the top. Lisa Leslie understands it. Cheryl Miller understands it. Caitlin's teammates who chose to join Indiana understand it too. But until more players speak openly in support of the bigger picture, this debate won't disappear. Hopefully, over time, facts will speak louder than emotions. WNBA players have a chance to support one another, deliver exciting basketball, attract new fans, and turn them into loyal followers of the entire league instead of just one player. That's the real goal. If everyone embraces this opportunity, works together, and welcomes the growing audience, this season could become one of the biggest in WNBA history. If last season felt incredible, year 2 of the Caitlin Clark era could be even larger, with record attendance, huge television ratings, and maybe even a deep Indiana Fever playoff run that captures national attention. One thing is certain, you won't want to miss what's coming next. If you're still watching, leave a basketball in the comments and thanks for being here.